So, very good afternoon, ma'am. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm very well, Karishma. How are you?
I'm doing great, ma'am. How is the weather?
Weather is very cold. I'm wearing a warm shirt and a jacket and a muffler, so
I can
it's
see
cold.
that. That's why I asked you.
Yes, yes. I see
Okay.
you're dressed in red for Christmas.
It's not
No,
like that.
I'm wearing this for Christmas, the red scarf, because we had a office Christmas celebration, so everyone had to wear something in red.
Oh, that's nice. This idea didn't come to my mind, but I was wearing it purposely. I have to go somewhere after this meeting, so I thought of okay, let's dress up accordingly.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So, like before we start, let's do the tradition of introducing yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, so I think there might be many new viewers who've not met me before. So I'm Anushri. I run a company called Sparky. I'm based out of Bangalore. We run this company called Sparky, which is focused on building spoken English fluency for people, like you who know English, who understand English, but they want to become confident, they want to become fluent. They don't have anyone to practice with. So Sparky becomes your practice partner who also gives you feedback. And my background is that I'm a computer science engineer. I did my MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. I've worked for 14 years, and yeah, I live with my husband. I live between Bangalore and Gurgaon now, actually. So partly I'm here, partly I'm there.
Oh, that's nice. Good to
Yeah,
know about you.
yeah.
Okay, so today we are going to discuss very interesting topic, how we can build confidence when it comes to learning English. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, so I think, say, firstly, I would like to just separate, embarrassment and proficiency, right? Proficiency is how good you are at a language, right? Confidence and embarrassment are more emotional terms, or they are more about how you feel, right? Now, you can feel very confident as a dancer, and you can be a very bad dancer. You always seen at weddings there are these people who are dancing
Yes,
really. They're bad dancers, but they're very confident about
very
their dance,
confident.
right? So I
And they
would
are
just like to say,
enjoying actually.
yes. So there are two different things: how good you are at something and how confident you are. Why people don't feel confident, firstly, is because with English there is this attached fear, or there is a feeling that people will laugh at me, or people will think that I am lesser because my English is not good, right? So I think the first step is to just let go of that idea, right? It is like anything else. It is a skill. If you don't know how to maybe drive a car, or if you don't know how to speak in Spanish, similarly if you don't know how to speak in English, they're kind of the same thing. Why does it have to be one is more embarrassing than the other? So I think that is the most important thing. The second thing I would say is that confidence comes by doing, and confidence comes by after you do, you see, I can do, right? So
Hmm.
I'll give an example from my life, right? So I don't come to Gurgaon very often. I don't know any roads here. I'm
Okay.
very new to the city. So in Bangalore, I drive, and I drive every day. I drive everywhere. In Gurgaon, I feel scared to drive because I feel like I don't know the roads, though I use Google Maps, and still I feel like I'll miss some flyover, or I'll make some mistake and then it'll waste 15, 20 minutes. So I don't drive, right? But one day then I had to go for a meeting, and I tried to get a driver, but I couldn't find one. And then I was getting late for my meeting, so I had to go. I couldn't find a cab also in that much time. So I drove, and I did that twice. Now that I did it twice, I realized that there's nothing to be afraid of. Like, I can do it, right? So
Yes.
yes, so one, you have to give yourself the opportunity to try. Secondly, when you try and you see that you can do it, right? It's not, okay, some mistake happened. I missed one flyover also, actually. It wasted 10 minutes, but I realized it's not that big a deal. It's okay, right? So those are the two most important things, that, there's nothing to separate how good you are with how confident you feel. Secondly, it comes from doing, and comes from that practice. And not only when you do practice, the words come into your mind more easily. You are able to construct the sentences more easily. Some of the common things that you practice about, or you speak about, those topics become easy for you, right? So I would say those are the two big things, but would love to hear from you, and then I can add some more.
No, I want to
What?
know how Sparky can help in this particular thing. How Sparky can
Yeah.
help a person or a learner to build his confidence.
Yes, so I think the biggest thing about Sparky is that it's a non-judgmental space and friend for you to talk English with, right? So people who are feeling this thing, "Okay, I'm feeling underconfident now." You and I can sit here and say there's nothing to feel afraid, but they are feeling it, right? So that's in that time and space in your journey of learning English, you need ideally a friend where you don't have to worry about feeling embarrassed. You can speak freely and you can feel okay to make mistakes also. So Sparky is that speaking buddy. You can talk to Sparky. It's okay if you make mistakes. It's okay if you speak few words, broken sentences. All of that is okay. And not only will Sparky understand what you're saying, it'll carry the conversation forward, and it'll also give you feedback. So where you're going wrong, you'll get to know where you're going wrong. And I feel like if you can practice for 10-15 minutes every day with Sparky, I can, and a lot of our users say this, right? Like I can guarantee that in 15, 20 days of time itself, your confidence will significantly increase. Your skill will also increase. But first thing that happens is that in 15, 20 days, your confidence increases. Skill increases a little more slowly. It requires a little longer practice for you to get better and better and better. But confidence comes very quickly. Like I was saying, I drove 2 times and I feel confident, right? So confidence comes easily.
Yeah, that's natural. Until you know how to drive a car, you feel a lot of fear and like
Yeah,
anxiety, like how could I do it? But once
yeah,
you know how to drive, you become so confident just within a few days of practice. So the same is with language.
yes,
Okay, so
yes,
before we move further, let's have a demo of Sparky.
yeah.
Introducing Sparky, your voice first AI friend for building spoken English fluency. Sparky is a friendly fox you can speak in English with even if you don't speak well. Sparky gently corrects you and also shares feedback on everything you say.
I did not got invited for my friend's birthday and I'm very sad. I didn't knew she did not want to be friends with me.
Oh no, I'm
Each conversation is designed to give you practice on specific language concepts or topics relevant to your life. Sparky keeps the conversation going so it never gets boring and helps and supports learners. If you're stuck for words, Sparky suggests what you could say. If you don't understand something Sparky said, you can easily see the meaning and even translate it to a language of your choice. Want to hear something again? You can just hit replay. You can also choose the accent and speed for Sparky's voice.
hello. Would you like me to speak faster or slower or in a different style?
Over time, it creates your personalized learning path to give you more practice on the specific mistakes that you make. If you don't feel like always talking, you can try out some fun interactive games designed to build vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar. You can also read stories and articles with Sparky, and Sparky will highlight the mispronounced words in red. Users see Sparky as a friend and enjoy talking to it.
I want to share a few things with you. Like in friendship, I always try to put my efforts in my all possible best ways. Then also, I am always being treated like an option. What to do about it?
Very soon, underconfident, struggling learners gain confidence, get over the stress and embarrassment, and begin to have meaningful conversations about things important to them. This
And people might understand how it works and how it can help you to build your confidence as well as your fluency. What
Yeah.
are the other factors which can help learner to improve his confidence?
Yeah, so I think of the things that you generally or the topics that generally you want to be speaking about, right? Now, for different people, their lives will have different spaces and opportunities to talk in English with. Right? You want to become confident with speaking English in office, for example. For somebody, it might be that. For somebody else, it might be that I want to become fluent in talking in English. Say, I just spoke to somebody who said, my kids, teachers in school, they talk in English. So when I go for parent-teacher meeting, I want to talk to them in English, right? So this is a shortcut. I don't think this is the final destination to do it, but start with topics that you want to become fluent in, right? So why that matters is because there's vocabulary along with that, right? So if you're talking in office, then you have vocabulary related to work, project, deadline, timeline, collaboration, meeting, schedule, whatever, right? Slightly different words associated with that. Now, if you're talking to a friend or if you're talking to your child's school teacher, you'll be talking about something else. You'll be talking about proficiency. You'll be talking about, is my child sincere? Does he understand well? Does he have discipline? Whatever, right? Slightly words and all are different, right? So if you're a slightly beginner or an intermediate user, one of the things you will struggle or why you don't get confidence is because you feel like I can't think of words, right? What I want to say, I know it in my language, but now how to say this in English, right? So practice those types of topics, and that Sparky is helpful for that also, because with Sparky you can talk about anything, right? So hundreds of topics are already there. You can also talk about, there's a unit called Ask Me Anything. In that you can say anything. You can say, okay, I'm going to this parent teacher meeting for my child's final exam report, and then have that conversation. So you can make it about whatever you want to practice. And if you do that, then at least your basic words are in your mind, and those conversations you will be able to start doing. Other things you'll also build over time, but at least that becomes the first level for you to do. So I think that's a good way to do, rather than, there are people I know who say, I want to build vocabulary, and then they go and learn, like, there are lists, 500 words to learn, right? Then they go and learn 500 words. I don't think that is the best way to do it, because it'll only become part of your normal regular language, and it'll only become clear in your brain, easy to bring up in your brain, if it is something that is used. Now if you learn a word which you never use, it's not relevant to your life, then that word will, you'll learn it once and you'll forget it after that, right? So
Yes.
think from a situation standpoint, in which situations you want to speak, learn words, sentence structures and things from that point of view. Other things will anyways keep coming as you keep practicing.
Okay, now I would like to share something very personal. As you have mentioned about PTM, parent teacher meeting, I still remember like 2 years, 3 years ago, it was the first time for me to attend this PTM, and I was tried really hard that I should speak in English only, but I couldn't, because that was very first chance for me. But
Hmm.
after coming back, after I came back to home, I was like thinking about that only for a couple of days. I kept thinking why I was not able to speak in front of her, though I was fluent. So next time I prepare myself, I try practice it even, just by seeing in the mirror. And
Hmm.
next time I have done it, so that time I feel so happy. Like it was a moment of like I thought I achieved something. So
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
efforts
so I
matter
think
a lot.
that, to think from a human nature point of view, right? Why did it matter so much to you? Because it has an important place in your life, right? One, it is about your child. Second, it is about your child's school, and your children's teachers generally have this aura, or you respect them, right? Like they come from a certain authority. They come from the point of view that they are the expert, right? So usually people also feel more afraid when they talk to somebody else who's an authority, or who they feel is not at the same level, but somebody a little more senior, or somebody a little more expert, or somebody, different people, like some people feel somebody is cooler than me, then they feel embarrassed, right? So in all of those situations people feel more afraid. With Sparky, what we are trying to do is that Sparky is like a friend. It's
Mhm.
not, it will not talk to you like it is a teacher. It will not talk to you like it's an expert, right? So you have to develop that comfort. Once you can do it with easier situations, less stressful situations, then you're better prepared to do it in more stressful situations also. So I think that is something that could be a starting point for people. Start with less stressful situations where your other emotions are getting less triggered, and you can focus on the English aspect of it. Um, But yeah, that's a good point, that in certain cases where you are it's important to you, if you do well in that case, it matters so much to you and you feel so happy and you would have gained so much confidence after doing that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
And
yeah.
now at this moment, I'm very much comfortable like talking with any teacher, but now I'm not using English language. I think it was more of proving my point. I want to prove myself that yes, I know English. This was something like that. I don't know. But
Yeah.
nowadays, when teachers start speaking with me in Hindi language, I switch to Hindi as well. It's not like that I'm continuously speaking in English. But one thing you have mentioned absolutely correct, that when we see a person who is like much in on a higher position, maybe
Mm.
advanced, you automatically get nervous. Your confidence, no matter how confident you are, but sometimes that drops out just because seeing the person sitting in front of you, he is much much better than you. So
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
very natural, but like after having practice you can overcome this problem.
Yeah, yeah, because then you're not constantly thinking ki, what will that person think of me? You're actually engaged in the conversation you're having, right? You're not thinking about your language all the time. But if you're at that
Yes.
zone where you're thinking about language all the time, start with things that are less stressful, your friends, your family, or a Sparky type of product. So that really helps. I think the other thing that I feel where people feel very confident before doing it, and then in the situation their confidence completely
Drop
goes
out, yeah.
away, is when they learn sentences or they learn in front of a mirror and they practice their speech in such a way that I will say exactly like this, right?
Yes.
That is not a good idea. If you, वो जो रट्टू तोता बोलता है ना कि
हाँ.
ये 3 lines I've learnt by heart, right? If you do that, chances of that exactly coming out like that are very low. Sometimes, the other person has responded and said something else. Now you have to change what you're saying, right?
Yes.
So
True.
then you get very frazzled. They say this even for presentations, right? Like if you have to, in a meeting, you're going to talk about something. If you learn up what you're going to say, then most likely when you're saying it, you'll fumble because
Yes.
you're doing
You
both
might
things.
have.
You're talking to people, you're trying to, make eye contact, you're trying to convince them or whatever. At the same time, you're trying to remember what did I learn? My script is going on in my head. And that does not look as confident as learning the right words, the right structures, the right points. Ki these are 3, 4 points I want to say. I want to ask about this, that, and this. And these are the words I need, or these are the types of structures. Like if you ask, the going back to the parent teacher meeting example, you want to ask about how your child is in class, right? The structure is similar ki, ma'am, how is he doing in class? Is he attentive? Is he disciplined? Is he
Yes.
coping up? Is he helpful? Is he talkative? Whatever, right? So you have learned the structure of what you want to say, and you have finalized कि I want to say this point. वो वर्ड उसके लिए जो होता है वो डिसिप्लिन्ड होता है, या उसके लिए वर्ड होता है कि इज एबल टू कोप अप विद द क्लास, वट एवर. So
Mhm.
don't learn the whole script. Then you'll fumble,
Yes.
and once you'll sort of forget something, you'll not. It's like dance also. If you've learned a choreography and you forget a step, then you're suddenly, oh
So
my God, what do I do? But
yes.
if you're just dancing in a party without preparing, but you are a good dancer, typically you understand the rhythm, you understand the moves, you're able to just make it up on the go. Dance party, mein if you're dancing, you just make it up on the go. That's what you want with language. You don't want everything to be choreographed and rehearsed and learnt.
Mhm.
So you learn the moves, but you use the right move at the right time in the moment. So
Yes.
I know it is. It sounds, a lot of your listeners will say, it sounds very good to hear, but it's not so easy to do. And we understand that it's not very easy to do. And there's no shortcut, I would say. It requires practice, and maybe just sort of that thing of don't learn by heart, don't think too much about what other people are saying, find safer, more comfortable environments around you to start practicing, and you will see that you're able to get better quite quickly.
But you know what? When you start practicing regularly,
Hmm.
sometimes even if you are talking to a very advanced level person, you feel comfortable because you have already gone through those word situations, and you have a lot of things in your mind. and you are
Yeah.
ready to explain. It's not about that you have regularly learning something, but it's just about that how we have learned Hindi. We are just talking to each other, learning one single word day by day, and it automatically, gets stuck in our conscious mind. This is
Yeah.
how we speak. So practice is the only thing which can help you to become fluent, and it can also help you to boost your confidence.
Yeah.
So this is what I uploaded a few video like 2 to 3 days ago, where I have showed my clips which have recorded 4 or 5 years ago, where I was not able to speak English. And I have, when I posted post that video on my channel, people are literally commenting me that, ma'am, I cannot imagine that this was you. You were not at
Wow.
all good with your speaking. You were so like a normal beginner person. And also they
Hmm.
appreciated me like, you find this courage to post these kinds of videos on social media. So like, this is only
Yeah.
for the motivation. If I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
do, you can also do. But when I was
Yes.
doing that time, there was no Sparky, there was no AI, nothing at all. But now you have that resource, so you should, I think, utilize it. You're getting
Yeah.
advantage of this thing.
Yeah, yeah. It becomes much easier, right? Like you would
Yeah.
have to, in your journey, you would have to find people to practice with, or you would have to find
Yes.
ways to how do I get better? How do I find feedback
Yes.
on where my mistakes are? So that is difficult. Now it's a lot easier, but I would love to see that video also, Karishma. I'll look up your channel and
We'll see
find
that.
it. No, no. See, that's exactly the point. What is there to get embarrassed? This is something that you didn't know, and now you know, right? And that's
Yes.
okay. So,
Yes.
for everybody else also, when you say that, it's great that Karishma has the courage to post these videos, the thing you have to learn from that is there's nothing to feel embarrassed. And
Yeah.
you have to do the work is required, it's not going to come magically. And if you do the work, it will 100% come. Like there is no way that it's not a maybe that it will come, right? It is if you practice
Practice.
100% you will
100%.
yes, 100% sure that you will be able to do it. Uh, there's
If
no
and but yeah.
sort of if and but about it. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
That's true. And even many housewife I have seen they're practicing regularly, and there are many people like I have connected 10 months ago. Now when I'm connecting again with them, I'm seeing change in their communication, their confidence level, because they say, "Ma'am, I have been talking regularly with different people. This is
Hmm.
how I'm gaining that confidence." So ultimately, speaking is the key for everything.
Yeah.
So you can practice with Sparky. I think that is most convenient way to practice with, because now at this moment also I have to find people to communicate with me. Sometimes
Yeah.
people send me emails, but they are on that level like they cannot even speak a single line. So that's not giving me good practice. So sometimes
Yeah.
I need to find people who are on advanced level. So while I'm communicating with them, I should also learn something. I can learn few new vocabulary, because
Yeah.
when you engage with the conversation, and that time when you are learning a word, you can
Hmm.
retain that word for a longer duration as compared to you're learning from book or dictionary or
Yeah,
by
yeah,
other sources.
definitely. Because the way memory is made in your brain is there are associations, right? Like when you
Mm,
hear a word in context, whatever else is being spoken around it, in your mind it becomes attached to that. It's a certain type of idea or a certain type of meaning. And the association between different things is how your brain stores it. If you learn just a word in isolation, the brain doesn't know where to keep it, and even if it keeps it, it cannot retrieve it when you need it. Retrieve
mm,
means उसको उठा के लेके आना वापस, right? आपने स्टोर रूम में कहीं रखा है. Now when you need it, you have to bring it out. So the brain is not able to bring it out if the remaining associations around that are not there,
not
right?
there, yes.
Yes, so that's how memory works, and which is why
Mm,
learning in conversation, learning in context, people say learn by reading. Reading is similar. You're not learning up words, but you are coming across new words in the context of some
context.
thing, right?
Yeah.
So you should do that, and even with Sparky, you can do that in context of a conversation, context of a theme. You will learn new things, and that will sort of help it come into your regular use. Otherwise, you've learned. I know so many people for CAT, GMAT, GRE, so many exams. They learn vocabulary, right? But they never use it. So
Mm,
the way to use it is to learn from context, and then it flows much more easily.
Yeah, that's true. I think learning is for kids only, not for the adult. Once you cross that level, like schooling and all, you should always try to understand the concept rather than learning all those things. So same
Yeah.
with the language. You should not learn the grammar rules. I have seen people, they're learning grammar rules, and many people comment me and say, "Ma'am, I will be perfect in English, then I will connect with you." So they are just, trying
Waiting
to be
for,
perfect, reading books and grammar rules and like that, but they don't know they will be perfect when they start speaking, and they will coming out of their comfort zone.
yes, yes, yes. That is the most important advice, that please don't wait to be perfect to start doing something.
Doing
You have
something.
to
Yeah.
continue to learn, but continue to use, because even your journey to perfection will be much faster. You
Mhm.
can't collect all this knowledge and keep it in your brain and then suddenly start to use it. It just that your brain doesn't work like that, right?
Yes.
So definitely start speaking today, in front of a mirror, in front of your friends. Pick up something, like you read a newspaper, you read some story, try to say that story again. After 1 minute, leave the papers, say it out to someone or to yourself or to Sparky, whatever is your favorite thing. But just the only way to get better is to start speaking.
Yeah, that's true. I think this is the most beneficial session for the learners who say that I will start when I'll become perfect. I will start speaking once I learn all the grammar rules. So you should not
Yeah,
wait. And now this
yeah,
Sparky is there. I will mention the link of this application in the comment section or in the description box. So you can
yeah.
just simply download it. It is free for few minutes, I think, and then you can take a subscription, which is very nominal. And just take the advantage of this Sparky and start practicing from today. So
Yeah,
I think
and
this is it.
there are a lot of features that will help you. I'll just quickly speak about some.
Yes,
There are
please.
translation features, right? Like, so when Sparky saying something and you don't understand, that's when you come across a new word. You can translate it to Hindi. You can see the meaning of that word, like a dictionary, right? That is inbuilt into that. If you don't know what to say, you feel like, how will I talk to this AI? I don't know how to construct my sentences. It gives you suggestions, right? If you are stuck, use the suggestion, use the help. It will tell you what you can say. So a lot of support features are built into it. You want Sparky to speak slowly. Some people feel like, if you're talking English very fast, like maybe I'm talking very fast right now, people might feel like I can't follow so quickly. You can reduce the speed. Sparky will speak more slowly. So a lot of features have been built into this to not only talk to you in English, but to also help you in this journey, to give feedback, to give support, to give encouragement, to make it relevant to what your life is. So definitely try it out. If you have any feedback for us, you can write in, comments on this video, or you can leave us a, review on App Store. But we love to hear from people, and we love to understand what we can do to make it better. If you like it, definitely we would love to hear it. But if you think there's something that is missing and we can make it better, please tell us. And we respond almost to everybody that writes to us.
That's great. Okay, then I think this is it for today. And we'll see you next time very soon.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Karishma, and wishing everybody a very happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hopefully, everyone has some time for holidays, and maybe the kids have holidays. So, have a good time.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for
Actually,
joining
maybe
me.
sorry, maybe I should say one more thing. When it comes to Happy New Year, the usually thing that comes is New Year resolutions. So if you are in this journey of learning English, for your viewers, if you're in this
Mhm.
journey, take it up as a resolution. Take up a resolution that you can do. If you think you can practice 10 minutes every day, take that as a resolution. Or you feel like I only have time on weekends, you take whatever is comfortable to you, but make a resolution, stick to it, and if you do it, definitely by next New Year's, you would be speaking a lot more confidently, and that is something that is, there's no doubt about that. So happy
Great.
New Year.
That's a good thing. Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your feedback. And thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah. Thanks, Karishma. Bye.